Let's talk about learning for a minute. Do you know how learning happens? When most people think about learning, they usually think about schools, colleges, or teachers. But in reality, learning has a much broader connotation. For instance, if I were to ask you, what was your most recent learning? You'd probably give an example of a recent life experience that has little or nothing to do with a school, college, or teacher. So how was it that we learned about the very things we associate learning with? Well, let's think of something as simple as you misplacing your phone. If we were to look a little deeper into what really happened in that process, it would look something like this. You came home from work and you realized you didn't have your phone with you. You then thought about the last time you used your phone, which was in the cab that dropped you home. You then deduce that you've left your phone in the cab. So, from this experience, you'll be careful to check the cab seat for belongings before you step out in the future. So is that learning? What if I were to say, no, not quite? To understand how learning really happens, we have to not only think about the experiences associated with it, but also the impact those experiences cause. Let's say, several months from your lost phone incident, you've acquired a travel buddy. You and your friend travel to and from work every day. He notices you step out of the cab and take a look inside to ensure you haven't forgotten anything. He does the same thing. Soon enough, he finds himself doing this even when you're not around. For your travel buddy, the idea of looking inside the cab didn't happen from his own experience. It happened through a meme, an idea or behavior that spreads from person to person within a culture. But you know what happens? And I think it's because we see it explicitly. We often confuse learning with its trigger. Teaching merely preemptively imparts knowledge. On the other hand, an experience leads to a realization that changes behavior and habit, causing individual learning. We at MemCorp are concerned with building learning cultures for our clients, and we do that by creating rich and immersive experiences that show consequence of action. Immersive experiences that induce realization and trigger a shift in behavior that ultimately leads to memes. Because that's how learning happens.